everybody, welcome to Joy in the Garden. It is a beautiful sunny day here in Cheshire at the end of winter, and I'm going to get some gardening jobs done. One of them being getting my dahlias started. I had a beautiful show of dahlias last year and I saved them up, and I'll show you my little dahlia stash that I've got in the shed. And today I'm going to start splitting some of them and getting them started. One of the benefits of lifting your dahlias over the winter is that you can get them started early, and of course you can move them around the garden as you see fit from year to year, which is what I plan to do this year. I plan to make quite a few changes in how my dahlias are laid out. So if you're new to my channel, welcome and thank you for stopping by, and I hope that you will subscribe. And if you are a subscriber, thank you so much for subscribing, and I will continue to try my best to give you some good content on this channel. So come on guys, let's get started getting these dahlias for 2020. Right guys, so welcome to the tip that is currently my shed. As you can see, I've got that bag full of toys that I no longer want in the house, more toys in the corner, and a few garden things in here. This is all going to be cleared out pretty soon. With the warm weather coming, a lot of things are going to be on the garden, but for now they're in here just stored away nice and dry for the winter. Now all the way in the back there you can see in those two blue trays, that's my dahlia stash. I have got 2 trays full of dahlia tubers. There are quite a few dahlia tubers stored in the back there. Now I've been checking them periodically over the winter. Come in, check them, make sure that there's no mold, make sure that they're not drying out too much, and they've been in pretty good condition, you know. So I probably won't get them all started today, but I will do as many as I can. I've already got my compost sorted, my compost soil mix sorted, and I'm going to plant up as many pots as possible. So the plan is to divide a few roots. I may leave some of them whole, put them in the pots, put them in a nice warm place, and get them started. So here I've got my little tote with my compost mixture. In here I have some cocoa coir and some store-bought bagged compost that I've mixed together, and this is what I'm going to be starting my dahlias in. So the plan is to half fill one of these pots with compost, apply my dahlia root tubers or dahlia roots, cover it up, put it in a nice sunny location inside, most likely by a window or at my patio doors, where they're going to get some nice warmth, and that should get them going, you know, let them start sending up shoots. And when the danger of frost has passed, that's when they're going to come out. Here I have my dahlia tuber. This one is Dahlia polka. I know this because I kept this in a particular location last year in my garden, so I know that was the only one there. But what happened during the year was I didn't label them properly. The label tags that I put on, they fell off, they got damaged and faded during the course of the summer last year. So all those other tubers in the shed, they don't have labels on them. I only know this one is polka because of where it was placed in my garden, and I put it in a separate location to those because I really wanted to keep this one separate because I really like it. So what I'm going to do for this year with regards to labeling, and maybe this is a tip that you could try as well, I always keep the packaging, you know, some part of the packaging when I purchase my bulbs in particular, just in case this exact same thing happens, just in case it's lost. So what I'm going to do is, because all my dahlias are going to be grown in pots this year, when they flower I'll know exactly what dahlia it is, and when that happens I can simply take a tag and attach it to the base of each plant so that I'll have it properly labeled during the course of this year. As it is right now, all the tubers look the same, so don't make my mistake guys. When you've got your dahlias planted, if you plan on moving them around, have a proper labeling system. This is where the main stalk came up, so ideally you'd want to put your label on this part right here, which if you actually look closely you can see this is where the tag was, but the label that I used just was no good. It just faded and got pulled off, ripped off eventually. It just disintegrated in the weather. So there's a tip for you. So I know this one is polka because that's it there, and so this one I can label now. The others, they're going to be unlabeled in their pots as they bloom over the course of the summer. That's when I'm going to put the tags on in each pot, so that when they go back into storage next year, they'll be properly identified and labeled. So I've given myself a little bit of an extra job this year, but that's all right. Right, now when it comes to dahlias, this is quite a large root, and this is not going to fit comfortably in my pot. So to divide dahlias, what you want to do is look for the eyes. Now, oddly enough, I see an eye forming all the way down here. There's an eye forming down here, and if we look to the top, you can potentially see there's an eye forming here. An eye is simply a point of growth on the tuber. So there's one point of growth here, and I can see some points of growth over here, and yeah, so here and here. I think there's one here as well. Ideally, I wonder if I'll be able to. I'd love to be able to just split this in two. Let's see if I cut my zippy tape, what's holding it together. Let's see if that will release. So let's there we go. Alright, so we've got some eyes there coming up. See? Eyes there coming up. So that's that. And there's an eye there. There's some eyes there. And there's this one coming up here. Do I want to split this again? Not really, to be honest. Can I get that up? Oof, it's not very good, is it? So, here we go. That made life easier. Right, so we've got that. I just really wanted to so that it can fit into the pot. And now that fits good enough for me. Let's get started. So now I've got one large tube or larger tuber and one little one. Quite cute, isn't it? So let's get started filling these pots. Now for that larger tuber, what I might do is, as it grows on, I might just put it in a larger pot. But for now, because I just want to get them started, this will suffice. There we go. It's number one. And here we go again. Get some nice compost, and as it starts to grow, you know, as I see the leaves coming up, then I'll feed it. But for now, we'll just work with what we've got in the compost. So the eyes are there, you know. Well, I've shown you there's this eye, there's this growing point all the way down there, but it's angled to find his way up, so I'm not worried about him. What I will do is trim off some of these extra bits. So like that can go, some of these little dead roots can go like that. That's not serving any purpose. That can go. So can this. Yeah. Tidy it up. It's not serving any purpose either. Get that bit off. This little dangly one can go. Yep. So that's looking a lot tidier. Yep. Yep, that looks much better. Get these bits out, and that can now go in the pot. Growing points facing upwards, of course. And just backfill that. And now let's do the important part, put a label on it. So like I said, I know that these two are polka, so I'll put those label on now. Don't need all of this. If I can't get it off. Go. So I thought I'd show you how I stored my dahlia tubers over the winter in the shed. So I've got them in these blue trays lined with this brown packing paper, and basically just dug them up, let them dry out for a few days, and put them in these. And as you can see, okay, there's a little bit of very tiny bit of mold on it, but they're all firm. There's no squishiness. They're not too dry. They're in pretty good condition actually. So there's that one. This one is still nice and fat. They actually feel, I don't want to say damp, but you know, they're definitely not dried out. I mean, look at that guy.
Hello, it's me, Jarvis, and today I'm going to plant some yummy, colourful carrots. And if you want to see one more video, we want to get to at least 30 likes to get another video. So please like and subscribe.
Well done, son.
Cheese.
That's it. You mix away.